Okay, so I left off at Museveni trying to capture Bobby Wine, His Excellency Chagulanyi Sente. So there's a few of his family members who have also met with Museveni, just as there were several of new members of parliament who have met with him as well. Now, Museveni, because he doesn't have enough money, he doesn't have enough funds to continue running the government, he has he has decided to print some money from State House. So a lot of fake notes of $50,000 have been released and are going to be used to pay people, especially those who they're asking to work towards trying to find His Excellency Chagulanyi Sente. The 500 million that has been promised to anybody who can find him or has sightings of him is truly the printed funds that are printed from the State House at Entebbe. They also plan to burn a bus or kill about 64 people in them. It is commanded by Muhoozi. It's either going to be a Kenyan bus or a South Sudanese one, to try to divert media attention from being focused on His Excellency Chagulanyi Sente. Owino market is still a high-priced item. They still want to try to take over Owino. And so people who are still working there and, doing business there, living there, or doing whatever you do there, there's still a plot to try to take over Owino market. This, I don't know if I should speak about, but I'm going to so I can sleep well. Okay? Biabakama is trying to plan an exit out of Uganda. He tried to get a Canadian passport visa the other day and he was denied. So Biabakama wants to leave Binois to Museveni. Museveni is not going to know when he leaves. So he's planning a secret exit out of Uganda. He's going to use a bus through South Sudan and then through Ethiopia, and then take a plane from Ethiopia through Ethiopian Airlines to the Netherlands. His biggest worry is that the EU sanctions are going to hit him and find him in Uganda. For everyone who's working for Museveni, this is a big indication, and hopefully you can restrain or refrain or try to reduce your engagement with this person, because when I see people like Okello Oryem, he's going to run for the second time if he can, because when he was in his father's presidency, they had to exit the country. Now that he works for Museveni, he's still doing his dirty deeds. He's going to have to run from Uganda a second time. But this time, with the sanctions coming down, I worry about people like him because he may not have anywhere to go. Okay? So for all of you that are still working for Museveni, people like Anita Among, she's learning firsthand. First of all, it is very, very 100% been approved. It has 100% proven that she has been poisoned somehow. People like Muhoozi are bragging about it. That's a big indicator that it surely has happened. The fact that they're now pushing her to the side, they're pushing her to the side so that she can gently just go and disappear. Okay? So for anybody still working for Museveni, just know that your time is coming. It may not be right now, but he's just fattening you up to be able to take care of you. Honor members Nakwede and Harriet Aida Nantaba of Kayunga. Museveni has a plan to do away with you because I understand you are in the way of the sale of Kayunga land or transfer of ownership of Kayunga land. So anybody who knows Nakwede and Harriet to be very careful, because apparently Museveni had asked or ordered a shoot and kill, but he has withdrawn it temporarily. So it doesn't mean that he's not going to do it anymore, but it means it's a matter of time. The next thing I want to talk about is the Rwandan embassy in Uganda. Rwanda's embassy in Uganda. For a long time, we didn't know why or how certain criminals showed up at certain scenes of crime and disappeared without any trace. okay? Apparently, the Rwandan embassy is where all atrocities on Ugandans are planned. I understand it's around Mulago. So if you can think back and think about the time when Kawesi was shot and killed in the city Kampala, you will realize that right after that, whoever came, the people who were involved in that atrocity, all disappeared around Mulago area. The other person who notably had something like this happen to him was Katumba Wamala. I think he's a general, major general or something like that. When his family was shot at and he survived and his daughter Winnie got killed, the armed men that came and performed whatever they did to kill the daughter disappeared, and right within the same Mulago area. It is said that the Rwandese embassy that is located around there is the one that commands all of these activities. The Rwandese embassy is the one that stores all ammunition, all the guns and pistols that are used in these shootings and killings, all the pangas, all the Rwandese men or people who are used to go and perform all of these atrocities on Ugandans. All the women who work as waitresses or work at massage parlors, as waiters, the men, they're the ones who have the poison at the embassy. It comes from there and it's taken to lodges and everywhere where they go and spend their time. And so they also do things like strangling people. I recently learned of the killing of the wife of Chibalama, that because Nabanja could no longer prove that she did have Chibalama, and the wife kept asking her because she had said that she does know or is in possession of Chibalama. Nabanja then decided to send some people to go and get rid of her. So unfortunately, those children I feel so bad about. I don't know how they're going to grow up what they're going to grow up thinking, what they're going to become, but they surely do need a lot of counseling. So we should find a way or try to get rid of the Rwandese embassy, because they are primarily the storage, the planning place, the location of the birthplace of all atrocities that happen, especially around central Kampala, in the area there, you know. You did see Balaam on a video where he's talking about Ugandan coffee, but in packaging that shows Rwandese or a product of Rwanda. That's something else that goes to show that these people are trying to take over Uganda and trying to make it their own. Everything that comes from Uganda that goes to Rwanda comes abroad as Rwandese product. So now we know why the cost of coffee to farmers is peanuts. But when these people bring it out here, I have gone to places where I found Rwandese coffee, and it has costed more than the other coffee that is on the same aisle. Even when you go to places like where they brew the coffee and you request that coffee, it costs more money than the other coffees, okay? There's another big plan for Mayiga. He's going to leave being a Katikiro right after Museveni is sworn in. He's going to be appointed by Museveni to take over a very high post in government, and that's after the swearing in. He will then resign from being a Katikiro of Buganda, and so the Kabaka will appoint a different person who is also likely to be of the same influence like Mayiga on Museveni's side and all of that. So we'll wait to see how that plays out, but it is intended, it's possible, it's likely that he's going to get off being a Katikiro because he's been for 13 years and people have talked about it a lot. Mayiga is also involved in the organ business with Rwabogo, internal organs business and transportation, and the killings of local Ugandans, youth especially, to get organs to be sold. No wonder Mayiga has never mentioned anything about political prisoners or children from Buganda who are being abducted and never appear again. So Mayiga is a partner with Rwabogo in that business. Part of the other business that first family is involved in is also marijuana transport trade. They do sell a lot of marijuana, and sometimes when you hear that Uganda Airlines is not going to be used, or people are missing flights for days at certain airports, it's because all those flights are diverted to come and take care of the business of Rwabogo and people like Mayiga. You know, they're transporting drugs, marijuana all over the world in Uganda Airlines. So I don't know how much that is checked, because usually when people move from place to place, people are checked. I'm not sure about cargo or planes that come directly from a certain country and are not going through airports where passengers are to be checked and investigated or interrogated if they find something that's unique. It now makes sense that a lot of that is done because they're transporting things that are of their own interest. Uganda Airlines also, to show you that M23 is Museveni's, Museveni and Kagame's rebel group, they actually, Uganda Airlines is the one that transports food to M23 for them to eat. You know how they're in the middle of Congo, in the forest and all those kinds of things. The food that's taken to them is taken by Uganda Airlines, ordered by Museveni, arranged by Ugandan military, not knowing where this is going, but it all ends up in the M23 camps in Congo. So this clearly shows that M23 is a Museveni and Kagame project. It is not a rebel group in Uganda. And so today I actually heard of another person of M23 who was killed, another commander. I understand there's another one who actually is a partner with Museveni in his Amos Dairy business, where they sell milk. He sells milk with Museveni, and now he's next in line to be taken away by Museveni, because Museveni wants to clear all M23 people who could possibly speak and give evidence to the likes of the US about how they perform or operate. Lastly, AAA, Anita Among, is likely not, excuse me, is likely not to come back as a speaker, because all the Museveni apologists, the ministers, Museveni himself, Muhoozi, you saw him at dinner with Mao the other day, all of them are fronting Mao. And there's also a lot of evidence and proof that Anita Among was poisoned. So, you know, I don't have very kind words for Anita Among, because so many things were mysterious around a lot of people losing their life. You know, when people like Honorable Segirinya was in prison, she never raised his concerns in Parliament, despite being a member of Parliament. Several other things, abductions went on. Obviously, Mpuga was on her side. But even when Mpuga slightly pretended to be raising the topic, she really didn't bother. You know, Among felt like she has made it in life. But when it comes to Museveni, everyone has a deadline. And he makes that deadline very well known. So I don't feel pity for her, because she trumped on a lot of people to get to where she is. She hurt a lot of people while she was where she is. And maybe it's time for her to just, you know, good luck to her. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Okay? She's just like Janet Museveni. Alan, I agree with you. Kaluma, thank you for adding that. So that is what I have for today. I've been a little under the weather. That's why my voice is very raspy. I've been battling a flu, but I feel much better today. I'll be back tomorrow nice and fresh. But everything is moving along as planned. The sanctions are coming down the pipeline. We are still working very hard. We are still poised on the goal. Everyone is focused. Our president is safe. His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu is very safe. Despite Museveni looking for him high, low, and in between, he's very safe and is going nowhere. Okay? Once the pipelines strike at EU, they will be assumed by the rest of the Western world. So if Museveni could run, maybe he can go to North Korea or maybe he can go to Russia. But sanctions that are adopted somewhere, either in Europe, are used in Australia, in Canada, in the United States, and several other allies of those countries as well. And it doesn't just affect the individual, it's the whole family. Some of them have already children that are stashed out here. You know, they're not able to change any identity, but to have them just sent back to wherever they belong in Uganda. People like Abigabe, he's now trying to run, but it's too late. Thank you, Alan. I will share that number. I've actually been wanting to share that. Anybody in the U.S., please share the State Department phone. Please call the State Department phone number. I'm going to share it in a little bit here. I have it from Mr. Alan Kaluma. Let's share that number. Call your representative at Washington. Tell them a little bit more, because as you know, Slavic Joseph, the lobbyist that Museveni pays $300,000 to try to keep his name clean in the U.S., wrote a letter saying that Museveni is not anything that we're saying that he is, but evidence shows otherwise. So let's keep up the energy. Let's keep working at it. Everything's going as planned. Everything's going well. Uganda is going to be liberated this time for sure. I've never been more confident. I had doubts many times before, but this time I'm very confident that we're going to achieve change. So I will see you tomorrow. Have a great morning, night, wherever you are, afternoon, and we'll be in touch. Okay? I love you all, and take great care of yourselves. Bye-bye.